Hello everybody, and welcome to part 8, I realized. I took a look at some of the recordings.
How long was I sitting there? Stanley wondered to himself. Minutes? Days? Centuries? Did something crucial happen while my senses were turned? He made a note to be more careful with time from now on.
And we need to find the stupid awaiting input thing. Awaiting input. Where is it? Where's input awaiting? I wonder if we'll ever get in to be able to go into those. Oh, this is the two doors. Oh, somebody spilled. Who spilled coffee? I want to make sure I didn't miss it in here. I don't think I could have, but I mean, anything's possible.
Stanley went around touching every little thing.
Of course I'm touching everything.
It didn't make a single difference.
Can I?
Nor did it advance the story in any way.
I don't care. I want to find that awaiting input thing. Fine, I guess we don't get to. Let's go to the way we're supposed to go again. See if anything new is there.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay. Watch this. I'm gonna come across something where it says like, oh, what I should have done.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Broom closet.
Oh no, no, not again. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be patient and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room. Please take your time.
There's gotta be something in this room. Oh, that was great.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
That was the plan. Awaiting input? Oh yeah! Yeah! 2 more games. No, oh, what the? Sky Boys? I can go down or up. Which way do I go, guys? I'm gonna go down and then next time I'll come up. Okay. Down. Up. I wanna go up. Oh, hey. Up. Let's glass ceiling this bitch. Yeah. I'm dancing, if you hadn't guessed. Very poor white man dance. Which pretty much is limited to moving your arms slightly. Well, kind of tapping with your foot and shaking the hips a little bit, which is quite difficult while sitting. But I'm managing. For you, the viewers, who cannot see me. Yeah. 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 Ooh, baby. I don't know if this ever ends, even. It doesn't seem like it. Yeah. Seriously, does this end? I don't think so. Can't stop it. Okay. Ah! Room with the dead panda. Let's try down. Yeah. Welcome to... I don't know. They should really like, you know... I wish they would finally make a restaurant called I don't know. So that I can find... Or I don't care. So I can finally go to that place where my girlfriend's always talking about. Thank you very much. No. I wish I could remember that guy's name. He's one of those singing comedians. He does Missed Connections and the one about using AOL Instant Messenger. Okay, seriously, does this not go anywhere? I mean, the music's catchy and all, but I've spent probably 3 whole minutes in this elevator. Like, I know I spent 2. Wait a minute. It's just freaking... And then... Ugh! Useless elevator! Why do you tempt me? Oh, see, that's the image. That's the thumbnail. I like it. I could do that with the clothes that I have available to me.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again
he's my
stunned
manager
to
now.
discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for
paintings
clues to his situation.
Can't
But
get
his
anything.
attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be?
Is there a secret book?
This keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret pin number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Yep, I don't know this.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs.
I did not.
Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could
Yep.
never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
There's gotta be like a secret thingamajigger. These wine bottles. Look at these.
2845.
Shut up. I want to find something new.
Forgot, but it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself. And Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
Wait a minute. So you're saying it was 8245? Or 28? Yeah! 2845. I'm a genius. Oh, that's right. I didn't do escape. Let's escape. Let's escape. I really want to see what the awaiting input thing does. I like that. That's cool. This game is terrible for people like me who feel the need to unlock and do everything. It's just so good at what it does. Like, I've talked before about Walking Dead and The Wolf Among Us. They're so good at what they do. Like, making you feel. They're so good at making you have the feels. This game is good at keeping you frickin' pushing buttons. This game is great at making you Stanley. Because that's all Stanley does, is push buttons, push buttons, push buttons. But we're gonna escape this time. Escape. I haven't seen that movie in ages. I've seen it like twice. Once, not accidentally, but it was just on, and it was something like I was in a waiting room, or I was somewhere with somebody where we were just sitting there like waiting for something, Like, I think I had given somebody a ride somewhere to like the hospital or something like that, and I was just like, well, I might as well just watch the TV, and it was Finding Nemo, which was weird, trust me. Like, Finding Nemo, it's always weird when there's actual like when hospitals and clinics and things like that have movies being shown on the TVs in the waiting room because it just kind of makes you think, I'm gonna be here for a really long time. Like sometimes they do have like television, but like sometimes it's just like the paid programming stuff. But no, I watched Jeepers Creepers for the first time while waiting for my. I was visiting my dad in the hospital, and he was in surgery, in and out of surgery. It was a not fun time for us, but we ended up like basically living in the waiting room for a couple days, and we watched. There was some like it's weird always watching like if you're in that situation, just watching families come and go, like being like when's it gonna be our turn? And I think he was in the hospital for a couple weeks, I think. But some family came in and they're like, "Do you mind if we change the channel?" And we're like, "No, we've been here for long enough. We don't care what we watch." But it they ended up turning the channel to Jeepers Creepers of all things, which I have to admit is one of the most hilarious movies in the world, at least the parts that I saw. But yeah, like, why do they even have horror movies in hospitals? Like, you're gonna watch something where it's just like people go into a hospital and they die no matter what. They could go in for a splinter and they die of pneumonia. I don't know. But, like, eh, hospitals, man, I don't like them. I don't mind them. I've been in them enough throughout my life, whether it's for me or, like, my dad works at one, so.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind
Nope.
Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
That's nice. At least there's no, um,
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had
at
every
least there's no
opportunity to
mannequin
turn
wife.
around and get back on track.
No mannequin wife.
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Yep. I fear no... Man. YOLO! And I didn't die. I don't think. That has to be the long... I think we spent more time waiting for the thing to load in that situation, but... Yeah. No, like... Yeah, my dad worked at a hospital, and I had conditions, still do have some conditions, but I've been in and out of hospitals for, on a yearly, if not more, basis for most of my life. I kind of like I'm at that point where it's just like I know what to do. I just walk in. Like I can get examinations that would take a longer time for some people because I'm just like, yep, this is this, this is this. No need to ask me what on the scale. I've already told you twice. But it also means that like I get migraines all the time, and every once in a while they get bad enough where I go in, and it seems I always get like the new people who are just watching me go. Like they're like, we have to do everything by the book. So let me tell you what the possible triggers are for your migraine. I used to get migraines, and this was my trigger, and this is what I did. But that might not be what you have to do. Remember, the most important thing is learning what works for you. And she's like, I know what works for me. It's not working today. So just stick the stupid needle in my ass. That's the worst. Like I will never get an IV if it's not like if you do not get this, you will die. It's like if you don't get this, you'll be uncomfortable for a while, but this stuff will work slower. And it's like, yeah, I'll take the slower stuff because I don't like needles. But there was one time where they're like, we'll just give you a shot. And by shot, I thought they meant, like we'll stick it in your arm, we'll stick it in your shoulder, like I was okay just like freaking Pulp Fictioning it. But then the nurse comes in and goes, okay, go get on your side. Okay. Um, pull down your pants. And at that point, I'm like, what the hell is she talking about? I'm like, for what? And then like, for the needle. Oh. And it hurt a lot.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, it reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. So he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life.
It's so big.
Then, Stanley.
Oh God. Oh God. What?
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into
Who are
the
you?
enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body.
You're not a dude.
Instantly.
Oh. What the hell just happened? Parable? What?
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game back in his office as alive.
Who
as
are
ever.
you?
What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
What is this?
Every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance. Death becomes meaningless, making life
What?
the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
What? Stanley's computer. Office layout. Ah, this is the game. This is the game. Corridor. Pacing of the doors was important to get right. This corridor had been moved and altered to make sure your player reaches 2 doors in a good time. 2 doors. The set of 2 doors was the very first concrete piece of the Stanley Parable's design. Once this room was created, the rest of the game emerged as an extension of it, an exploration of the contradiction this composed. Filing cabinets. They're very nice filing cabinets, too. Office computers. Solitaire. I'm turning them all off. Don't waste energy. What's this? Stanley's computer? This doesn't get a plaque. The office. Button sounds. A selection of sounds was used through the game when buttons are pressed. Each is a mix of keyboard stroke and synthesized tone. Interesting. Well, first of all, this isn't the end of this episode. Or it might be, but probably not. Thanks, everybody. All you people, thank you very much for making this. Especially the impeccable Kevin Brighting and the writers. Everybody else was extremely important, but like especially Kevin. This game is just ridiculous. The office. Maintenance room. I like that maintenance room. We're not going up there. This is the office. These 2 things are the office. Actually, I'm going to stop it here, because this is really cool, and I'm at 20 minutes, which is the longest Stanley video I've made. So, thanks for watching, everybody. See you next time. Adios. Hope you enjoyed it, and yeah, keep watching.